talked about it a little bit. I want to talk about it a little more. The entire Capitol building is now under lockdown, although right when we came on the air, the Capitol Police said that the inside of the Capitol building is all good. There is a curfew at 6 p.m. in Washington, D.C., so Washington, D.C. has now been under curfew for approximately 45 minutes. No one is allowed on the street, no cars, no bicycles, no dog walking, no nothing. If you are on the street, supposedly you are going to get arrested.
Wow.
Now, members during this insurrection, members of Congress were told to get gas masks. Vice President Mike Pence, who was in the Capitol, he was whisked away. Of course, he is an enabler of Donald Trump, but of course they take him to safety. Flashbangs could be heard near the steps of the Capitol. Tear gas was deployed. An armed standoff took place. An unidentified woman was shot and killed. We don't know why or how. The entire DC National Guard was activated, but only hours and hours after the insurrection happened. Because ultimately, Donald Trump is the one who is the head of our military. So he was having the military stand down for hours while this was happening. And by the way, before we got on the air and after I got pooped on by a bird, I looked at CNN very quickly. And I don't understand why all of these protesters who showed up in Washington, D.C. with guns, broke windows at the Capitol, walked into the Capitol building, stopped the Senate that was in session, ransacked offices, shots, insurrection, and a coup. How did they all walk? I just watched them all walking away.
Yeah.
How do they just walk away, Jonathan? And nobody does anything. I didn't see one person getting arrested.
I mean.
That is the question.
Okay, because if this was Black Lives Matter, you think Black Lives Matter, the people would have walked away, no arrests?
It's wild to me that with Black Lives Matter, we were protesting for a reason. We were protesting for something that we wanted, justice for. Like, we wanted change. These people are protesting for something that's just made up. He lost the election. There's no way he's going to become the president again. And for the Black Lives Matter protesters to endure so much more within being tear gassed, beat, run over by police cars, which are on camera, arrested, all of that. And barely anything happens to these people. It's wild to me. And this is part of the reason why I said America has let me down. The fact that the president allows this is crazy to me.
It's not America letting you down. Because
it's happening in our country.
It's not America letting you down, because think about all the people that you marched with. Think about all the people that you were in solidarity with. Think about all the people that put the Democrats in power. Think about 70+% multicultural marches around the United States of America. It was not your citizens, your fellow citizens. It was not your country that let you down. It was your leader who let you down. I really believe that. If, Jonathan, George Floyd got murdered and you were sitting there by yourself protesting and everybody told you to go home and nobody joined you, or just blacks joined you, or your friends joined you, I think you could say America would let you down. But I saw everybody joining.
I think we're looking at it. I think we're looking at it in two different ways. When I say America let me down, the reason why we're protesting is for that reason. Like for us having to protest is why it's let me down. We're protesting because of the issues that have been happening.
These are issues, yes, that are in America. Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
That are institutionalized in America. Absolutely. But I saw a lot of people joining to change that.
Oh, absolutely. And I was the first one to say that when I was front line at the protest. I said I love that it was multicultural. Right. It was so many people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it let me down in that aspect, because I'm very grateful for that.
America to me is not a tree. It's not a building. It's not a brick.
It's the people.
It's the people.
Yeah.
And the people were there with you. Your leaders let you down.
Because the leaders have the influence that lead these people to believe what they believe. And here they are protesting for, we're not even too sure what, at the Capitol.
Right. They're protesting to overturn a democratic election. And what is the most ironic of the day, Donald Trump's campaign theme was law and order. I am going to be the law and order president. Well, there's nothing more or less law and order than having a democratic, fair election, having everybody look at this election from every angle and saying it was a fair election, and then having your supporters go into the Congress, the legislative body, to overturn a democratic elected fair election. There is nothing less law and order than that, which is quite ironic. Meanwhile, besides the birds pooping on me, the other good news is that Reverend Raphael Warnock defeated Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler.
Yes.
And Jon Ossoff, he won his U.S. Senate race as well. And Warnock is going to be the first Georgia Democrat elected to the Senate in 20 years. He is going to be Georgia's first Black senator. Jon Ossoff is 33 years old. He is going to be Georgia's first Jewish senator. So a state that was predominantly very conservative, state has elected two separate minorities to represent them in what is absolutely, because it is a conservative state, is what is absolutely a repudiation of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. These guys won as much because of who they are as because of who they're not. And you have to thank Stacey Abrams, who got them elected was the black vote in Georgia.
Yeah.
And that voting bloc showed their power in Georgia. Stacey Abrams got them to come out to vote, and they showed their power. It was an absolute repudiation of Donald Trump. I believe had there been any other president who was not as divisive as Donald Trump, neither of these guys would be senator right now. We wouldn't have gotten that outflow of people to come out and vote.
I just love that, my fellow Black people have finally realized the power that they hold with going in and voting. This right here, I just pray that they keep that in their mind, and it took Stacey Abrams to come out and show it to us. And I'm so grateful.
She's a hero. If you're a Democrat, she's your hero.
Absolutely.
All right. If you're a Democrat, she is your hero.
I want to get a candle. You know how they sell those candles with the saints? I want one of Stacey Abrams.
But she got Biden to win in Georgia, and she got the Democrats, the two senators, which ultimately puts power, for the first time that I can recall, that the Democrats control the executive branch, the president, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. I believe, in my heart of hearts, I believe that in the first 100 days, you're going to see huge, huge, huge government spending, huge stimulus checks being sent out to people who need it, huge additional unemployment benefits given to people who need it. And I also really, in my heart of hearts, believe you're going to see a significant change in immigration laws
Yeah.
I do not know whether it's going to be an amnesty. I do not know what it is going to be, but I do know that I feel confident there will be those two huge changes.
Nice.
And Stacey Abrams is responsible for that.
Yeah.
As more than anybody else.
Protect her, y'all.
I heard you correctly. This was the first time in 20 years that there had been a Democratic representative in the Senate for Georgia.
Yes.
20 years.
Yes.
That's wild.
But for Georgia to elect two minorities.
Yeah.
Right.
Two minorities.
That part.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Well, here we go.
Now,
new rules, new changes.
And by the way, we have a pandemic going on in America still.
Yes.
That part.
Yeah, that part.
Vaccine coming soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, vaccine here, right?
Yeah. According to statistics from Johns Hopkins University, 1.8 million people have died from coronavirus. More than 48 million people have recovered. In the United States, 21 million people diagnosed with coronavirus. We are now up to almost 360,000 deaths. A new high in deaths from COVID yesterday, 3,775 across the United States. Governors have taken new steps to get vaccines administered faster, including mobilizing the National Guard. And by the way, during these 30,000 people who were basically storming, I don't like to use the word storming because we always joke about storming 6A.
Right.
Okay, but who were protesting the coup, none of them were wearing masks. So not only did we have a coup, but we also had what is most likely going to be a super spreader event again.
I always think, like, from our video yesterday, it's so wild to me when we had said, you had reported that I think it was like 125,000 cases in the world or something like that.
Right.
And like what you're saying now, it's just insane. I never thought we would get here.
Yeah. I remember when we were doing the show from the studio back in February. Yeah. You're running around New York City in your underwear and we're like, look at Wuhan. Can you imagine if we had to shut down those poor people? Like we kept saying, can you imagine?
Right. It was all talk until we had to walk it.
Right. By the way, did you see a congressman who was elected from Louisiana? He died of COVID this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Luke Letlow, a Republican who was elected to the House of Representatives this month.
He's young.
Yeah, he was 41 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he was isolated at home on the 18th. He was hospitalized on the 21st. And then he died shortly thereafter. He is the first member of the House of Representatives to die.
Wow.
Of COVID.
He is so young.
Yeah.
Wow.
We talked about the Grammy Awards. It ain't happening.
Pish tosh.
It ain't happening.
They could keep on postponing it for all I care.
Yeah, it's now going to take place March 14th, 2021. By the way, the 117th Congress, it was sworn in on Sunday. And some things look a little different. For one, the chamber is more diverse than ever.
Yes.
Record-setting number of women.
Yes.
Record-setting number of Black and Latino members.
Woohoo.
And record-setting number of men and women who identify as LGBTQ.
Beautiful.
In the House, Republicans managed 11 seats, but the Democrats took over the Senate based on the election today.
Yes.
And as a follow-up to the Jacob Blake story we discussed on yesterday's show, the reason Officer Sheskey gave for shooting Blake, because we said we had to look into it.
Yes.
He said that he feared Blake was going to stab him with a knife as he tried to stop Blake from fleeing the scene. Okay, let's try to enact this.
Where's the knife?
I got to stand up a second, seriously.
Where's the knife?
All right, my back's to you, Yo-Yo.
Right.
What am I going to do with this knife?
And you're walking away.
And what am I going to do with the knife?
This is
how do you get away with that? How do you get away with that with no charges?
He also said he believed Blake was trying to kidnap children in the back of the vehicle.
Oh.
Now, Ben Crump, the attorney for the Blake family, questioned whether Blake threatened Sheskey with a knife, saying, "Nowhere does the video footage show a knife extended an aim to establish the requisite intent to shoot the man. Wisconsin prosecutor Michael Gravely declined yesterday to file charges against Sheskey, concluding he couldn't disprove the officer's contention that he acted in self-defense because he feared Blake would stab him. Gravely said that investigators determined that the events leading up to the shooting began when the mother of Blake's children called police and said Blake was about to drive off in the car.
Wow.
I don't know,
man.
That's a situation where the law failed.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a situation where the law failed.
Wow. And we had talked about how he already got a couple million, right? Who'd he get a couple million from?
Blake settled his case. I didn't know that. Did he?
Did he
say? Yeah, he settled his case already. I find that hard to believe, but maybe he did. He I would assume his case. He's paralyzed.
Who did we talk? Maybe it was someone else we talked about.
I don't think he settled his case.
Oh, it might have been Breonna Taylor's boyfriend.
Yes, it was Breonna Taylor's family.
It's just so many, I get mixed up.
Right.
I get mixed up. Unfortunately. I get mixed up too. Sometimes you hear the name, you're like,
right,
that was the guy in Wisconsin who got shot, or that was the guy. It's hard to keep up with all the names because it happens so often now. I know all the stories. I'm like, the guy in Wisconsin who got shot in the back, with the kid in the back seat. I know the story, but sometimes I mix up the names because
because there's so many.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
We got to get to some hump day. 28-year-old Scottish dude. He met this girl online, but because the UK and Ireland are under lockdown, and he wanted to go see his woman who he met online. He's never met her before, and he was just in love. So he rented a jet ski to go across the Irish Sea. He thought it was going to be a 40-minute trip from the coast of Scotland to his girlfriend's home on the Isle of Man between England and Ireland. Oh, so she's on an island right in the middle.
Got you.
Where that little pin we dropped.
Oh, where that pin is.
Yeah. Now, he told the authorities that he had never ridden a jet ski before in his life.
Wow.
Weather on the Irish Sea caused the trip to stretch to 4.5 hours. He couldn't see land anywhere. He didn't know where the hell he was. He finally showed up on the Isle of Man 4.5 hours later.
Wow.
15 miles from where the girlfriend lived. So then he walked 15 miles after spending 4.5
You got to be kidding me.
In the winter, by the way.
You have got to be kidding me.
In the winter.
If people don't love like that, I don't want it.
I'm going to tell you something. That man is either crazy, psychotic,
or
really horny. One of the three. I don't know, or some combination.
So actually,
you can't find another woman closer.
Okay, so Nesquik, this is a serious question. I hear you say if it ain't this type of love, you don't want it. But really think about this. Would you not second guess a man and his sanity if he rode 4.5 hours on a jet ski and walked 15 miles to come and see you?
Right. Yeah. Wait, the storyline is that they've never met before.
They've never met
before.
Right. I would say I would not want to be in a relationship with this man because he does not make good decisions.
Good decisions.
Right.
Exactly.
So if I'm a woman and I want to feel, I'm with a man, I'm not taking the woman's perspective. You tell me, Vanessa.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Maybe you're Daniel.
Like, okay.
I'm putting myself in the woman's position. And by the way, it's the same thing with a man. A man wants to be with a woman who makes good decisions, who's not reckless. This is everything. Reckless, no good decision. You come home every day. You don't know if the guy has a job. He's jet skiing across the world.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be with this guy.
Yeah, it's a little much.
And then, by the way, and on top, they never met.
It's a little much.
It's a little much.
Why he didn't decide to take a plane, I don't know. Maybe adventure could thrive.
Weren't they blocked? Like where nobody could go into where she was at, right?
Right, yeah, because of quarantine. Everyone's blocked.
Okay, so just wait. Keep on talking. Build a foundation and talk for a month until they open it back up. What the hell?
Maybe that's what the rest of the world is doing.
Man. Maybe
we're all waiting it out. Man.
Y'all just ain't romantic. See? And then when people don't take these stretches and these measures and just dive deep into love, we're like,
Nesquik, what do you think? What do you think this man would do if you broke up with him?
Well, then there's that part.
Yeah.
But by the way, it's not even love. It's infatuation. It's fantasy.
Yeah. Right.
Because you can't love somebody you never met and risk your life.
Can you imagine being in the middle of the sea on a jet ski that you've never ridden before?
I'm going to get back to you guys tomorrow on this.
Right.
I'll check in with my ladies and see what the ladies think.
That's actually a good survey. Ask your friends, your lady friends.
Ask them. Say, would you run? You know, you have to put something up on your Instagram, Vanessa.
I will.
Run, or I don't know what do you run away, or what would the other option be? You would like embrace him, hug him, hug or run. I don't know.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna post it on Instagram.
All right, you get back to us tomorrow about it. I want to ask Brad Squad, everybody, Facebook and YouTube, what would you do, guys and girls? Because I mean, there's some crazy girls out there that might do that as well, but especially the ladies. Would you embrace this man that rode 4.5 hours on a jet ski and walked 15 miles?
Yo. Stargirl Mika said she would do it for Yo-Yo.
Walk racing. This guy is cool, but I will definitely not going to risk my life for a chick jet skiing in the middle of the ocean.
I mean...
By the way, the epilogue to the story is he went to jail for 4 weeks after he got caught.
For 4 weeks?
Yeah, after he got caught breaking quarantine. That is the epilogue to the story. An Instagram model has racked up more than 1 million followers for baring her bottom in various locales and recently posed for a cheeky shot with a pair of NYPD cops. The 32-year-old vegan model Anastasia Fields, by the way, Yo-Yo, I believe she is single. Check her out. Anastasia Fields. She snapped a shot with the 2 officers and shared the photo of her lifting up her dress for her 1.3 million followers.
Wow.
With the caption NYPD heart emoji. Thousands of people have chimed in on the comments, with one user commenting New York finest, while another joked the black and the blue. Meanwhile, Fields has been using her bare booty to cheer up New Yorkers during the pandemic. She has not cheered me up. Has she cheered you up, Yo-Yo?
No.
No, I have not been cheered up by her.
The thirst is very unattractive to me.
Really?
The thirst?
Oh, for that.
Yeah, it's thirsty.
Too much. It's too much.
Yeah. You want your girlfriend on the Instagram doing all that? Showing her butt?
No.
To 1.3 million followers?
No. So you would want your woman to be a little more conservative.
Yeah. Like, you could do that for me in my bedroom.
You can pose all day long, right?
Wow. This is definitely the kind of behavior that needs to just not exist anymore.
All right. And finally, former President Obama was recently spotted paddleboarding in Hawaii. People are saying he's still looking pretty good, shirtless. 59 years old. Julian, can we get a closer up of that?
He looks amazing. Can
we get closer up of that or no? Or that's the closest we can get?
He looks great. And
59 years old.
He looks great.
He didn't have a care in the world. He's paddleboarding in Hawaii. He's all smiles.
You know what's funny?
What?
So my younger brother, I don't know if I'm really supposed to say, but my younger brother is his assistant. He worked for Obama. Yeah, right. His assistant. Yeah. So I was asking him because I know they usually go to the gym together before the pandemic. So I was like, has he been working out? He's like, he works out at home.
Wow.
So this is at home workout, guys. So there's no excuse, anybody out there.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.